Welcome to Turn to Your Neighbor. This is the Christian Talk Show where we talk about music, movies, the church, social media, and a whole lot more. My name is Cliff, and this is Tamika.
Hey, neighbors.
And this
I
is
tried something new.
Big Dre. I wasn't ready.
I wasn't either.
Neighbors, I can't do it. Hey, neighbors,
Heidi ho.
Heidi ho.
That
Philly
did
Locally.
sound like that. Oh, okay.
Yes,
That
it
is
did.
my Detroit brethren.
Oh, what's up to all the neighbors out there? It's so good to be in the number one more time. I want to thank y'all for hanging with us tonight. Neighbors, do me a favor right now. Please share right now. Whether you on YouTube, whether you on Facebook, we appreciate you for hanging with us. Share right now so we can get more people hanging with us today.
Is there an exact number in that number?
You mean when the saying glad to be in a number?
Yeah, like what's the number exact? Is it like
No, I'm just happy to be part of whatever the group is.
To be
In it.
included. Yeah.
In it.
I just,
To be present.
is there a range or is it just like any number really? It's just something I've always thought about.
You're just happy to be in it.
Okay, I'm with you. I was just asking.
The Saints have the songs, and they just
do them.
They just happy to sing them.
I ain't got nothing crazy to say today.
Happy to be
Really?
I'm being
You
good.
are tired.
I am a little tired, but I have nothing to say
It's that
crazy.
time
today.
in the semester.
All right,
Even
well,
I'm tired.
well, then let's just get to it then. Without
Cliff,
further-
let me start off by saying, what are we doing, Cliff? That's all I'm gonna say. Just the whole show is gonna be dedicated to what are we doing, Cliff. I saw the title. I said, okay, well, today's the day. Didn't need this job in any case. We're just gonna go ahead and lose it. Go ahead. Right around Christmas time. It's cool, Cliff. Didn't need that direct deposit. Let's go. It's cool. I'm with you.
People are checking. People you work with are checking for the kind of stuff you do on Facebook.
Bruh.
You need to do a Facebook purge. I've been doing that recently on all my social media handles. And I learned that when you do this on Instagram, they actually only let you delete so many followers or people that you're following at a time. But I have been engaged in a social media purge because, people are saying some crazy stuff now. They're posting crazy things. And I don't want to engage crazy.
Yes.
So I have just been getting rid of stuff, but I also need to be me. And I'm just taking it real way back old school when you only friended your friends on Facebook.
That's real.
Your real life friends or associates. Yes. People you had seen.
I literally had someone who I'm trying not to describe it because they're going to know. Anyway, who I work with, I've met them maybe once or twice in person. And they friended me. I let them cook for a couple days because I was trying to decide. I was just like, what do I do? Because I've been saying no more often, particularly to people who are my friends' my parents' friends. I don't know you.
Nope.
Scoop.
Nope.
Scoop. But this,
I discriminate completely against on the basis of age. If you are old enough to be my grandparent,
gotta go.
I don't friend you, and so I've had to update it as I get older. It's funny because at first it used to be a pretty low bar. Then I'm like, oh wow, I'm getting older. I need to update it. But yeah, I'm with you.
If you're gonna try to have a whole conversation with me in the comment, talking about, hey, how's your mom and them? That's not the place for this. Nope.
There's a whole new culture, but now Facebook is there are a lot more older people who still got it. I'm not hating, but they are engaging Facebook in new and fresh ways.
Let's just say what it is. The older saints that are on Facebook, they have discovered Facebook Messenger. And so they decide that they just go blast all kinds of random stuff to you in Facebook Messenger. And I have decided that I don't even leave. I just mute. I just mute. So it's like me. It could be me and like 20 other people in this list that they have. They
Yes.
random stuff too. I don't even leave because they can see so and so is left. So I was like, you know what?
What's killing me?
You know what? I don't gotta worry about hurting your feelings. I will just mute you.
There's
then you post all you want. I'll never see it.
I think you know my life, because there's this one group right now that I just popped up on this list of about 30 people. And I just was like, God, how do I get off of this?
I saw one group that we both got put in. You left like right away. She made her first post. I'm like, what is this? And then like not far after that first post, you see Gary Abdullah has left.
Yo, well, there's one that I know too many of them people. I'm going to see them in real life at some point in time. And I'm just like, I don't want it.
It's awkward when you join a new community, though, because then you're like, well, I want to be friendly with you, but just not through that particular medium.
Exactly, not that medium.
That's how I feel. So anybody who I know and actually am cool with in real life, if I have not accepted your friend request, it's not because I don't want to be friendly with you, some of you. It's because I just don't want to engage you on this particular platform. But in real life, you know, you stop by the Cracker Barrel, let me know.
The barrels.
And I can stop by. I have to say this really quick, Cliff. Okay. I know the perfect, most opportune time.
Come on.
For us to actually get a LaBarrels pop-up popping.
Okay. When?
Coming to America, the sequel is set to be released on Amazon Prime December 18th.
Yes.
They are said to be having tie-ins with, among other brands, McDonald's, that's an obvious one, and Crown Royal. I said, if this is not a sign that we need to proceed and plan and do a little, all we need to do is just one thing a day.
Because December 18th, there are certain parts of the population where we live that are not going to be here, that heavily traffic what would be liberals, and so they're going to need that money.
Prince Hakeem and Semi do not deserve this.
But Semi would definitely drink Crown Royal and eat patties.
Louis Anderson did not watch Lettuce for this.
Yo, I'm telling you, this could happen. And we come dressed up in our finest coming to America gear. I'm saying.
Oh, before this goes off.
Yo, this could happen. Yo, I'm going to find out who the general manager of that Cracker Barrel is.
I feel like we need to consult with someone. We have people in our community, in the neighborhood, who do the hospitality management thing.
Yes.
I feel like we might need to stop playing and actually make a phone call.
I think we're going to talk to them after this, because I know
y'all hold on to this before we start losing people.
Come on, our Zumunda's finest. That's right. I'm telling you.
We'll table this till the end of the show. How about
that? All right.
Switching out a Crown Royal, Mac.
Table this
discussion. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's all good. All right. So the first thing I want to get to, the neighbors love it. The neighbors love it when we do African stories. We do stuff about people from Africa. And today, I'm not going to disappoint the neighbors. I give the people what they want.
Got to give the people.
Okay. Exactly. So it's a good segue. Y'all talking about coming to America. I got a story about Africa.
No, that wasn't what I wanted.
It's perfect.
There you go.
No, Tamika, don't encourage this.
Right into that. All right,
synergy.
So I came across this pastor who, for whatever reason, I'm not even sure why. This, and just so you know, this is from Ghana, because you got what country? This is from Ghana.
Yeah, countries
I came across this pastor from Ghana who decided that he felt the need to shave the private parts of women in his congregation. And I know y'all think it's far-fetched, but I got receipts.
Cliff, what are we about to do, Cliff? Before you hit that next button, Cliff.
It's a headline
before you hit that next button, Cliff, what are we about to put on the screen?
It's not going to be graphic. I can tell you that.
Okay.
You gonna get the so just so your neighbors know that this is they are speaking the native tongue, which I cannot interpret, but I'm leaving the audio up because there are people in the audience whatever he's saying, people are co-signing. I'm not sure what the brother is saying because I don't speak the language. I don't even know what the name of the dialect they speak in Ghana is Guyanese. I don't know what it's called, but I just want to tell you that there are people in the audience co-signing whatever this brother is saying. So you can check this out. I promise you, it is not graphic.
Oh, here we go.
If I did my editing
let's
right
go.
now, I'm joking. I promise you, it's not graphic.
Okay, let's try it.
See,
did she just take her?
Homegirl's taking off her underwear. Right? She is pulling up. See,
what is he doing? That's graphic.
That's not graphic. You can't see nothing. This is not graphic. My man is catching it. I don't know why with the paper towel. The camera person knew to go away from it.
I just heard the word panty.
I really have no idea what he's saying. So y'all get the idea, and there's gonna be there were multiple women who came up for whatever this ministry.
What are we doing?
Is. You can't see nothing. You can't. See. There are multiple women who came up for whatever this ministry was. I wish I could tell you why, but even the videos describing what this was, there was when I tell you there were multiple, but they were all in a tongue that I do not speak.
But here's the thing: we are in somebody's house.
Well, a lot of churches, a lot of churches started humble.
This is a fetish.
Humble
this is a fetish.
Humble
and old boy did this under the guise of Jesus the Christ. And that's not, this ain't got nothing to do with the Lord I serve. This ain't got nothing to do with it. And that's just not hygienically appropriate. I wouldn't think.
I don't know. I don't see, you know how the barbershops got that green stuff that they stick the combs and all the utensils in the barber side. I don't see none of that. So my man just shaving everybody with the same razor.
Tamika, anything?
Yeah, I think you said it. Cue PJ Morton. Your God had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
And my God had nothing to do with that. And I don't think this is funny. I think this is pretty scary. These are what appear to be adult women submitting themselves to this, but I think this is pretty scary to see the lengths to which patriarchy has corrupted some
quit rolling the video
believers. So I think this is ugly because this kind of stuff never comes up with men.
Right.
Yes.
Never comes up with men.
That's true. And when you think about the majority of attendees at churches are females.
What do we do? Okay.
Yeah. And Pastor Hampton mentioned that, I don't know, that there was a sign on the wall that said supernatural cleansing.
And I wonder if it's linked to some type of if these women were sick or something, or
third annual supernatural cleansing.
Yeah. I just don't get I do not get the obsession with a woman's body. I don't get and with controlling it and policing it. My goodness, can we just, because so many videos have fallen under, which show how people are engaged in this, men and women engaging in this in the name of God. And it's just, what conversations do we need to start having in church to just make sure people know that this kind of thing is not okay? Because even if we have never seen something as extreme and disgusting as that, we've all been in a setting where we've seen something that made us a little uncomfortable, or we were like, oh, I don't think he should have said that, especially as it pertains to women's bodies and sexuality and stuff in the church. So
yeah. And this is
that really said third annual.
It did say third annual.
Wow.
I could run the video back, but I don't think you want that.
Don't want
that. But it did say third annual supernatural cleansing. So I mean, if you're watching this on demand, you can just easily go back and check it out.
You on your time.
But yeah, third annual supernatural cleansing.
Well, I pray for the people that were being cleansed, and I hope everyone's doing okay, both mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Yeah, I hope everybody's okay. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay.
We can move on.
How about those Lakers? No?
We can move on.
Okay.
Man, skip LeBron James and the Lakers.
You mad? You a hater.
See, this is
you a hater.
What happens when you talk about that?
Yo.
Now would not tolerate Lakers fans. I'll put up with a lot of stuff, but I ain't gonna tolerate.
Literally silenced.
I ain't gonna tolerate Lakers fans.
That's true.
I actually don't care. I just say that to.
You're an actual Lakers fan from the 80s, though. Like you were Lakers.
Oh,
Lakers.
Wow.
Like all my life. Like first time I started liking basketball, it was the Lakers. Yeah. Like Richard would tell you.
I got some thoughts on all that. But go ahead.
All right, we can talk about the Lakers later. Before we go on, I want to say, because this month is Pastoral Appreciation Month. So
yes,
happy Pastoral Appreciation Month to all the pastors out there. Your efforts are appreciated. To all the pastors that are not doing questionable things.
Right. As long as your efforts are not
all the pastors that are really helping people and teaching the flock and feeding the flock. Appreciate all you pastors out there.
How in the world you gonna follow up that?
I said I want to forget.
Pastors. Big one.
I didn't want to forget. If you're a pastor, you watch this show, you know how it is. You know we just.
Can I ask a question? See, this is gonna get me in trouble. Go ahead. I'm gonna ask this question. How many times a year are you supposed? I know you're supposed to appreciate your pastor all the time, but there seem to be more and more days and reasons and things popping up for a special appreciation and offering something. I'm not talking personally. I'm just saying in general. Okay. There's the anniversary of the installation. There's the anniversary of the church opening. The anniversary of something. There's another anniversary, and so their anniversary, the anniversary of the call to Christ, and so all these things. I'm just saying each one is a special collection. I'm just asking questions. So what's the number on that?
So
I'm just asking.
I didn't know Pastors Appreciation Month was a thing until I was an adult. Until I was an adult.
It's not.
Until I was an adult. So the way I grew up, there was always the pastor's anniversary, and that was the big time, the big day, the anniversary of that person becoming the pastor of the church, and that's when that was the real big, right? That with a pastor with gifts and all that other kind of stuff.
So let's be honest. Pastor's anniversary, right? The pastor, the installation of when they were installed, the anniversary when they're installed. Then you have the act if they're married. Then you have the celebration of their actual anniversary. Then you have the celebration of the pastor's birthday. Then you have
wedding anniversary.
Yeah, you haven't never seen that.
I've never seen the entire church celebrate the pastor's wedding anniversary in a big production. Maybe it might get acknowledged sometimes, but I've never seen. It might get a shout out. But
I may have just seen something like this. Did I, Dre?
I don't know.
Okay, I was about to say, did something like this just because I was like, is it because it's pastors?
He always does say something extra. Pastors.
He was trying to be discreet. Whatever it was, he was trying to be discreet about it.
This month is Pastors Appreciation Month, and I did not know that.
Right.
But I agree with what Cliff said. I do not
Now,
I have not witnessed the practice of
now
celebrating
there
a
are
pastor's
there
nuptials.
are some denominations. So
Mhm.
when those denominations have their big gatherings, right? So they'll have like the weekly long gatherings,
The opening
and
of the church celebration.
no, like a convocation type thing, like a convention type thing, like so they'll have weekly long gatherings, and then there'll be Bishop's Night where you know that the offering is going to Bishop or the offering is going to the overseer. They have that
Oh,
kind of stuff too.
can we take a moment? Is there a way to send a link to Pastor Hampton? I think I may have offended somebody. Out of all the things that have happened so far in this show, evidently what I just said may have struck a chord
So,
with
so
somebody.
Pastor says, Drake, can I see you on the
I
side?
think he
Because
speak on the side of the
you
church.
messing with his pockets. That's why.
Brother, would you like a link? Hit us up. Let me know if you would like a link.
You messing with his pockets.
Because I think he may want to speak. I'm just saying there just happens to be a lot of these. That's all I'm saying.
I don't, but they all serve a sort of different purpose. I think usually there may be multiple times where you honor the shepherd of a house. And I think that you should do that every time you gather, really, because of all the work that goes into that. But you're not always necessarily having a big party and all the sort of ceremony around it. I think that usually happens 1 or 2 times a year. It is appropriate to do it for the anniversary of a church, especially if that pastor started the church or has been there from the beginning. And it's also appropriate to do it like my dad, they do it convocation, which is the church anniversary, and then they do it for his birthday month. So I mean, it just depends on what
Depends on how y'all get down.
Yeah, but there's a range, and none of it is required. But it's the truth is, it's never enough. In fact, I argue.
Here we go. I was waiting for that PK to kick in.
We start celebrating the PKs.
Go ahead. Let me kick it. I was waiting for it. Here we go. I was like, I know Tamika's going. She's chilling, but she's going to come in eventually.
You know, PKs don't have the best reputation, right? Do we want to go down this?
I'm about to say we don't want to celebrate some of y'all jokers.
We can go.
We don't
down that road.
Some of y'all jokers.
You know why?
Just have the pastor break out off some of his pastor appreciation.
Anything else is wonderful. Let me ask this question. I got one more churchy question. Just one more, and I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Go ahead.
Because I've started some mess. So this is different denominationally, but when the pastor is reading script, it used to be tradition that you were to stand no matter when they were reading the scripture, right? When they're reading the scripture. Yes. That doesn't happen as often anymore. Am I incorrect in saying that? But I will still see some places. I've been to a couple different churches where even if nobody else is standing up, there's going to be at least one joker who go, the scripture's going up. Why aren't y'all standing? And they're going to look at you like y'all supposed to be standing too. Why aren't you standing right now? Is that still happening denominationally, or what's going on there?
I think it's a church by church, denomination by denomination basis. I don't think that's a universal thing.
Okay.
Because growing up, we didn't do it. So when like the pastor would start preaching and he would start reading his text, we would do it. But I've been to other churches that do it.
Yeah, I think it's fading though. I mean, along with you wear white on Sundays, and the mothers sit at the front of the church all in one long row and all that stuff. A lot of those traditions I think we're growing out of, and I actually miss some of those traditions, but I haven't seen people forced to stand during scripture in a while. Sometimes I'll still do it because I'm just so used to doing that. And then I'll feel weird when I'm the only person doing that. And sometimes people don't even stand during praise and worship. So, I mean, it's churches get a lot more lax.
And really, it depends on the preacher's style, whether it makes sense. It's always okay to do. But you have preachers who will get up and they'll read the entire text that they're covering. They'll read the entire chapter.
Right.
And then some people will take it in bits and pieces.
Break it
They'll
up. Right.
read, then they'll talk about it, then they'll read some more and talk about it. So if I'm going to do that, you don't got to stand up because I'm about to read a little bit, just a little bit, and I'm going to talk for a while, and then I'm going to read some more. So it kind of just depends on the style. Like I've been places where I've told people, y'all sit down. Because
I've actually seen you do that. That's
fine. I'm not trying to, y'all sit down.
Y'all sit down. This is awkward. This is awkward. Y'all sit down.
But usually you would read the scripture. You might say some things. You would read the scripture. You pray.
Right.
And then you go into that was the tradition, I guess, the pattern that I was used to growing up. You have that prayer. And some people, should really go back to that.
Go ahead.
You need that prayer. You need that extra blessing over the word. Because the devil just be trying, even on your way up to the podium.
Just jumping up your word.
So you just gotta, you just gotta get that last prayer in. But yeah.
What is one tradition? Now I'm gonna ask Tamika this because you've talked about your son on here before, and he's what, like 3 now? 2, 3?
He's 3. Mm-hmm.
3. So he's gonna hit the age eventually where he has to sit inside service the whole time, right?
Yes.
Where will you force him to stand for praise and worship?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope it'll be fun for him. And I actually think if I do my job right,
okay,
he will actually be in the band. I think my son is musically inclined. He really likes instruments.
Okay.
But I mean, we don't play, so we would have to get him involved in that. But yeah, I would force him to do that. I hope to be a part of I hope that he has his own separate youth, children's church, all that though, that he can be like growing up. Our kids' church, youth church is what we called it, was the whole service. We did our own praise and worship. We had our own choirs. It was all happening simultaneously with the adult service in a separate space.
Okay.
And I really like that.
I just remember some of them Sundays. I had, growing as a kid, them shoes were already too tight. That was some of the longest praise and worship session. And my legs would be tired. My feet would be sore by the time I was done. And having to stand up there. Because where I grew up, that praise and worship was extended. We could give you a solid hour and 15.
Yeah.
No, literally an hour.
Yeah, 15
I know. On the
we believe it.
I've seen it.
We believe you.
But if you think about how a lot of us grew up, it's amazing how a lot of us as children came to eventually know God as adults. Because when you think about it, if you grew up like me, it was a long time before the service became relevant to me. It was a long time before I actually understood what was being talked about. I mean, probably into teen years. When you're young and people in the church are shouting because Sister Elsie got a job or didn't get laid off or something like that. But your biggest issue is this kid that's picking on you at school, right? So what is the Lord saying? This is my issue, Pastor. What is the Lord saying about that? I'm coming to church with this issue, but I got to hear about Mother Elsie and all these other people and their issues, and it's not really relevant. So it's when I look back and think about it, it's the grace of God that a lot of us kept sticking with the Lord, because for a long time we was in service that just wasn't relevant to us.
I think that we have to do better. One of the things, and I'll brag on my dad since that was my first pastor. He started off as the youth minister. Okay. So before he moved into the senior pastor role. So he really had a heart for kids. And so before we had our own separate youth church, he had this thing called Little Ones Time. So it was before he did the big sermon, all the kids under 12 came to the front of the church, and he did a separate mini sermonette just for us. Yeah. And he talked about things that were relevant to us, and the church still, now it's COVID. And so they aren't having in-person services, but they still continued that. So I think that to your point, Cliff, we do have to make sure that we bring kids into the fold, because here's the other thing. Being a kid today, middle school today, elementary school ain't what it used to be.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's a whole other range.
Yeah.
I mean, they dealing with some big things.
Yeah.
Especially now. So
shout out to all the churches that are able to invest, whether it's because they have the space in the building and the staff. Shout out to all the churches who are able to invest in youth activities during Sunday, and to the people who commit their time to doing it.
Yeah, for sure. I just took us down the path. I apologize.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It was a good discussion. We weren't talking about random pop-up restaurants out, but that was
why you haven't really explained to me what your real lack of respect for liberals is.
I just find it amusing. I didn't say lack of respect. There's no lack of respect. I find it very amusing.
Do you feel he respects liberals, Tamika?
Liberals.
Do you feel he doesn't?
Let's go.
All right, go ahead.
All right. No, it's okay. It's okay. So I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but Karen Clark-Sheard, she does this thing when she sings where she can simulate an echo with her voice. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. I'm going to play this because this is going to set up something else. So I'm going to let y'all listen to Karen Clark-Sheard. She does this thing where she echoes her voice. You and the neighbors can check it out if you've never seen it before, because this is going to set up something else. Yeah, so this is her jam. I have never heard anybody else do stuff like that. I've never heard anybody else, definitely never heard anybody else pull it off. Never heard anyone else try it until I came across this video.
Uh-oh.
The lady next to her can't even help but laugh.
So you can't go out there trying to impersonate everybody. And the number of people in the world who could pull off the stuff that Karen Clark-Sheard does is very small. And unfortunately, I don't think these two sisters are part of that population.
Bless their sweethearts.
Can I talk?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. First of all, I feel bad. You always set me up for this stuff, man. Because we are at a homegoing service once again.
Is it a homegoing?
We at a homegoing service.
No, that's just the flowers of the.
Everyone has on black. Look at the picture behind.
Black people wear
the
black.
Sister on the right.
Black churches wear black at least one Sunday a month. What are you talking about?
Picture?
Or is that just a vase? This is a homegoing service.
No, that's just a vase. There's no. That's where the casket would be.
Yeah, that's the vase.
Okay, I feel better about what I'm about to say then.
Yeah, black people wear all black once a month.
This is what happens when someone hears one particular version of a song and it touches them, so they just decide to learn the version of the song. They don't learn the actual song. They just try to learn a version of a song.
Yeah.
Yes. Because this was, if I'm not mistaken, this is actually Karen and Kiera in the actual version of this song. It's a live,
right? Yeah.
They're going back and forth, and this is when Kiera was younger. She would bring her back out on the stage, and they were flexing back and forth. I listen to this all the time. I know the version of the song.
Because they were doing "He Loves Me."
Yes,
they
doing a gospel version of "He Loves Me."
He Loves Me. That's the song. That's the song. Yeah.
Guess what? Stop. Just stop. Don't do it. I'm gonna say you're trash. This is trash.
Oh,
this was terrible. Nope, trash. Not everybody. There was not a sweet sound into anybody's ear. There's nobody in that congregation that will hold your child.
I see. This is
Not
why we have to invest
person.
in children's church.
Not a single person will hold your
child. I'm sorry.
He said Jesus wept.
Gary said Jesus wept.
Yo, not a single person that will hold your child. And besides that, they out here. This is where we have to hold each other accountable vocally. So you were practicing this. Other people heard you practicing this, and nobody said y'all sound like trash.
You think they practiced this?
They had to. There's no way they had the audacity to get up there in front of the church and not practice. They're serious.
I've seen that.
They're serious. They're looking back and forth at each other, just knowing. And this sister is serious. She knows she's doing.
But they're laughing at each other.
I think they think they're killing it. I think they think they're killing it. But if they're laughing at each other, why are they allowed up there? This was trash. Like, we gotta stop this, yo. We gotta stop. This stuff makes me angry. I'm sorry.
I agree.
But as a singer, don't learn a version of a song. Learn the song. Because the version of the song that you heard and it touched your soul, unless you are exceptionally gifted as well, you probably can't sing it like they did.
Do you think that they can sing at all? So do you think that they could have, this is not the song to try.
Right.
But do you think that they actually could have rehearsed and sang a song well?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think they have bad voices. They just doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing.
They can't do. They're out there overperforming their talent.
Exactly. You're out of your range.
I'm kicking your coverage. Yeah.
Thou shalt stay in thy lane.
Exactly.
If I had a church, I would have an associate pastor of staying in your lane / long-windedness prevention.
Okay. Yes.
Marvin Sapp's church, there is an associate pastor of first impressions. That's what I would do. I would do an associate pastor of stay in your lane.
Okay.
So somebody, because everybody's like afraid, like you're saying, like, oh, somebody heard them. Somebody had to have heard them rehearsing and didn't see. That would be that pastor, so that everybody can just channel their animosity toward that one person. And then they don't have to fall out with the actual pastor, and the actual pastor has to do all their policing. And you know what? I wouldn't mind playing that role.
So basically, you got a pastor out here acting like Sandman from the Apollo.
So
not embarrassing
it's
people.
Quality control. You're talking
not
about quality control.
People, but just being like,
I need to address. We do,
or just getting up there and so that the pastor doesn't have to do it, because
I'm not against that.
Needs to be focused on the delivering her word, but you need somebody else who can just keep all the madness out of the service. With you. Because people are distracted. They're trying to suppress their laughter. You all the way out of, maybe you're thinking about how well Jill Scott actually
killed it.
So then you start thinking about Jill Scott. Then you start thinking about Crown Royal on Ice, and it's all over. See, this is an essential role that we need.
Well, you knew if you look at the picture, you knew this is wrong from the beginning, because there's two mics. And the baby must have threw a fit, and so they gave him his own mic.
Yeah,
you knew
bad.
right then and there this whole thing was gonna go down, because now the baby's running the show pretty much.
Yeah,
the baby wouldn't go to anybody. Maybe
that's true. The baby's
who gets the mic and who don't. And they passing this around, and you're gonna see it later that she's gonna try to take the mic from the baby, and he's not having it.
I think
shout out to Pastor Hampton for picking that out.
Yeah. To me, I see what you're saying here, though, because there's some equipment that has to come with this position, though. Because I'm thinking more of a quality control position. You have to be in constant contact with the people in the booth. You have to be like, cut the mic. No, cut it.
But if you have that person, everybody, because we've all been in services where some sideways stuff that's happening.
Right.
Person's talking too long or shouldn't be up there. Everybody's gonna be looking at that brother or sister and not even paying attention to what's going on. Everybody's gonna be like, "Yo, you gotta get him off."
It's gonna be.
No, see, this person
Exactly.
will be like legit.
Mhm.
I mean, they will be someone who has mastered the science of inviting people to take several seats.
But
like that's the key qualification.
that's
Yep.
really the job of the MC or whoever's officiating the service.
But no,
or she
but
should be-
sometimes they the ones
that need to.
Sometimes they are. But any other time,
Speak truth
it's that
to me, 'cause
person's
speak
job.
truth.
It's that person's job to expedite the service.
Well, and I'll just tell you that role is often managed under very generous parameters. A lot of times people do not mind letting that thing go. And see, if you have a spouse, your spouse should play that role for you. Like Chris has done this a couple times at our church. I'm like, look. Don't take all that. He's pretty laid back anyway. But you know, like you gotta have somebody to tell you the truth. Like, okay, yep, nope, that joke isn't funny.
Yeah.
So you just gotta be you and keep rolling. Take that out and just roll with it. And yes, I'm not saying, you know, you don't make room for Holy Spirit and all that, but some people just make room for their alter ego stage presence.
Yes.
Let's be real. And that's distracting, and we don't need all of it. And so we don't need any of it.
All right, I got two more I want to get to real quick.
Okay.
First, I want to show you there was this baby who was stillborn. I forgot the exact term, but the baby was not alive when it came out of the mother. And then the mother prayed. I want y'all to take a look at this. So as you see, in the beginning, baby's not moving. Mom starts praying, baby's moving, and you couldn't hear it, but baby starts crying too.
Wow.
When the mother begins to pray.
I don't know what to say. I have
that's why I said. That's why I said real quick. I wanted to show y'all that it's something powerful. When I mean, I'm sure every mother knows the what it's like to pray over your baby like that, whether it's dead or alive. You pray for your baby's well-being, and so I'm sure every mother can relate to what that sister was feeling.
Only the neighborhood. Somebody gave her an oil rating.
All the oils, though.
All the oil.
She was showing up praying now.
Oh no, she was going in.
She saved everybody up at that hospital.
She went directly to the throne, and she said, "So here's what we're going to do."
Well, yep.
And
that's what they do. Like they lay the baby on your chest or whatever, and they're probably like, "Well, just
Yeah.
No,
whatever they said, she wasn't having it.
No.
Like,
whose report shall you believe?
Exactly.
She's like,
I serve a God.
I serve a God. Come on. Come on. This thing might preach 2 or 3 times. Come on.
One more thing I want to show you. So you know that people say that how you behave in your time of trouble or your time of anguish is your real character. You know, people say, yeah, I've heard people say kind of stuff like that before, right?
Right. Yeah.
I want you to check out this young girl's response in her what she felt like was her time of trouble.
Oh, did she give me tongue?
I don't know if that's tongue or not. But
that was baby tongues.
So this young girl, she just loved the Lord. She told the Lord she loved him. Not save me, Jesus, but Lord, I love you.
She thought she was going home. She thought this was it.
She just wanted to make sure Jesus knew how she felt.
That's lovely.
Can I ask this question? Why do people keep going on these things?
It's fun.
In particular,
absolutely. You have not lived people of color until you've taken a nice little trip to the Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, and gotten on every roller coaster they have. It ain't nothing but maybe 4 hours or something like that from State College. Go on over.
I know where Cedar Point is. I don't do these things. Ride. It's a slingshot. Yeah. Here's my question. If you have to scream that much, and I've seen multiple videos of people passing all the way out and then coming back.
Oh yeah, they're just swinging back. This one is. I have not done anything like this before.
This is nuts.
This one is scarier to me because it's all drop. It's just drop. But otherwise, being scared is part of the fun. It's like, why do people watch scary movies?
I don't
get into scary movies like that either, but I love roller coasters. I absolutely love roller coasters.
Roller coasters are a good time.
Yes.
Maybe I just find life scary enough. I just don't get it. It's just like I don't need the extra scare. I've never understood it.
This is fake scary.
You know,
you're not genuinely afraid that you're going to die.
Let's cover this.
That's what makes it fun.
Let's cover this real quick. We're going to be honest. The young lady on the right, I'm assuming it's a lady. I don't know if it is. The young lady on the right did not meet the height requirements for that ride. If you look at the amount of space between her shoulders and the protected and space on that ride, she could have slipped out that bad boy. She wasn't sure that thing was going to come down with her in it.
She probably just made it.
She probably made it.
And they're good about that checking the height stuff.
Shout out to Fitz for keeping it obvious. If we could get Fitz on the screen for me right there.
Yeah. So nope. Fitz, not this one?
No, that's it. No, that's it. That's it.
Okay, you said no.
This ride is not for us. Nope. Any of y'all got a few X's in your shirt tag. This ain't for the big boys. There's got to be weight limits on that. I'm fairly sure. Because that's ridiculousness. That child thought she was going to die. Look at her eyes. She thought it was over. I
miss amusement parks, man. I can't wait till we get on the other side of this and I can go back to an amusement park. I think my son is going to be like me. We took him to Hershey Park. He can't get to the roller. Oh, no, we were in Williamsburg. We were at Busch Gardens. And the kid goes to the roller coaster. He's like this. Just straight face.
Nothing.
The whole time. He didn't talk. He was just like, we were like, okay, I guess this is enough for you. So I think he's going to be like me. I can't wait till we get on the other side of this and I can go back to roller coasters.
My brother, do you have a rant for the people?
I sincerely do not on today. I was trying to think.
You're gonna go
no. Let me check my phone. Let me check.
I don't have.
Cliff is like those are the worst days. Actually, you don't have a rant.
But I got something to say for the next 20 minutes.
No, I don't have anything to say. No, I didn't even write nothing. I was trying to think of something. Okay. I got nothing. I have nothing on today.
All right.
God is good. I hope everybody is doing what they need to be doing out there, working hard, staying safe. Hey man, take care of yourselves mentally and emotionally. Really, it's tough times out here. So make sure y'all being smart and being right about all of this during these times. See, I'm keeping it light today. I'm lighthearted. Well, let me take a second, real quick. Just touch upon something real quick, just really, very briefly. Respect to LeBron James. I don't care about the Lakers. LeBron James. Respect to LeBron James. That brother, like myself, greatness is born December 30th. Me and LeBron, just a few years apart. That's okay. But greatness is born December 30th. That's all I gotta say. All you haters out there, you mad. I see you. You mad, haters. That's all I had to say. I'm done. See, kept it light today.
Okay. You good? You got it out?
I'm good. Tamika, do you have any takes on the world today?
I do have a few takes.
Oh, see?
Jasmine Sullivan, your favorite R&B crooner.
Yeah.
She lost 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And people were like coming at her, but she lost it accidentally. Or not accidentally, but she didn't lose it saying, I want to lose 50 pounds. She looks fabulous, but people were like coming at her because she hit the right angle in one of her poses and she looked a lot thinner than she actually is. But I think she looks fabulous. She has some new work coming out. But yeah, her mom has cancer, and so she wanted to support her mom. She went vegan, so she's eating all this fresh food. And yeah, that's what that does. So I'm trying to learn a few things from her Instagram stories. Did you all see that in an effort to get the votes of men like yourselves?
Okay.
Biden's campaign released a 4-minute rap battle campaign ad featuring right. And all those things that you think it is, Cliff, it is. It features DNA and Charlie Clip, who I think are actually good. They're apparently veteran MCs. I'm not familiar with either one of them, but they do a lot of freestyle stuff, I guess.
I don't know either one.
But one of them is on the basketball court, and the other one is texting him like, "Today is not the day to not be picking up your phone or like playing basketball. You need to go vote." I think that it's a complete misfire. They end up presenting this trope of a Black man who would rather bounce a ball than vote because apparently he doesn't know how important the election is. And I don't believe that. I know that Black men are much, much smarter than that. So,
well, I mean, I would agree, but then you have Shaq, who has a whole PhD and never voted before. So
he had to admit that.
But it's not. I agree. That's despicable.
Yeah. You would think.
But it's not because he didn't know it was important.
It's just he just decided not.
Well,
that was a selfish. I can't even get into all the things that was, but I do not give him a pass of being ignorant. He knows exactly how important it is.
I don't think anybody's saying he was ignorant. Are people saying he was ignorant? I don't think people would say he was ignorant. He intentionally did not vote. Like he had to know it's important. Dude is a whole cop. Like he's a police officer, so he knows. He just she chose not to.
I need Joe not to mess this up. Don't pander so hard that you just do something foolish, Joe.
I mean, I think it will be effective because I think I found it a little bit insulting, and I'm not a Black man. It was clearly aimed at Black men.
I'm not gonna even look this up. I'm gonna act like it didn't happen. I'm not gonna
look it up, but some things I realize just not for me, and so I think they're trying to reach people. I mean, they had the whole. You saw I don't know if you saw the commercial with the strippers getting people to vote. I mean,
I ain't watched the whole thing. I cut out early, but I got the general idea.
I mean, okay.
I got the general idea.
Okay, I'm just saying, it's Cinnamon, and Sapphire out here wanting y'all to vote. They trying to
talk about get to the poll.
Yeah, get to the poll. They trying to cast the widest net.
Oh, you didn't see that? It's a real thing. He's not making that up.
Yeah, they're dressed like they're dressed in their uniforms.
Their uniforms. Let's go with that.
Yeah, the uniforms that are appropriate for network TV, and Cinnamon and Sapphire, they out here wanting y'all to vote. So I think they trying to cast the widest net and trying to get people to the polls any way they can. So I mean, you can't say they're not trying.
Right.
That's it. At least they trying something.
Right.
I mean, it may not be for me, but they trying.
They actually have a much better commercial where it's a bunch of guys sitting around in the barbershop talking about how bad Kamala Harris is, and they like she could go up against everybody, and I think that's how men would talk about like Black women who they know like she coming with that. So I felt like that was a lot more natural. It wasn't scripted. Like it seemed like they were just, I mean, they of course had talking points, but I'm just saying, I think that they just went a little too hard with the other one. You can just talk to people.
Yeah.
And tell them like it's important. Black men, even if they are young, do understand things that aren't in a rap song.
Yeah.
We
What are
read
we
books
doing?
and stuff. They
Yeah,
read books.
but they so the other perspective is they're trying to play to what they think a certain demographic is into.
But that's
Right.
my
And
question.
if
Who's on their team?
but look, if there weren't a demographic of people that are into that, Love and Hip Hop wouldn't be a show. From Lock Up to whatever, Lock Up to Love, whatever, all those kind of shows wouldn't be a thing if there weren't people into that kind of stuff. So there's people in our community who love reading and love technology and all that kind of stuff, and there are people in our community who like rap and hip hop, and so they're trying to speak to everyone. They're trying to have a little something for everybody, and so it's not our thing, but there has to be. It's somebody's thing, because all this other stuff that's out there would exist if people didn't watch it.
Oh, it's getting trashed. So I don't know. I'll see if I just think I don't think it's anything wrong with having rap. Like if they had a genuine rap battle, it's so you can tell it's so scripted and stiff. If they had like an actual freestyle battle,
right,
and like rap about what's going on in the country, I think that would have been much better. But yes, the point is, I hear you. They just want people to vote. The struggle, the fight to suppress our votes is so real. Yeah. Every day there's something else, which just tells you how important your vote is. That's exactly how the enemy works. He does not want you to get what God has for you. And so the harder he fights, the better that thing is. The more
Tamika.
That thing is. And so I would just remind us of that.
Harder
people are fighting to try to suppress our voice and our vote, should signal to us just how important and powerful our votes are, not the opposite. So remember, your vote counts no matter what. I don't care where you live, and trust, I live in Trump country. My vote counts. It matters. And so people just keep that in mind. And watch Saturday Night Live on Saturday, because my girl Issa Rae is hosting Saturday Night Live.
Oh, really?
Justin Bieber will be there too. But I'm watching it because Issa Rae, she is just winning.
Put your head down. Bieber might sing one of his worship songs now.
I hate that trash he has out with old boy
Chance
right
the Rapper.
now.
Just his song Chance the Rapper,
they can
right?
both go walk off.
He might do that.
It's bad.
Bieber might get out there lifting up the name of Jesus.
Can I tell you, along the lines of black women winning, my favorite commercial out right now is Regina King in her Cadillac Escalade commercial.
Oh, yes.
There's so much black woman energy, black woman power in that thing. Like, because it's just a black woman, just as a baller. There's no kids. There's no husband. It's just this is my ish.
Tuesday.
This is mine. This is my car.
In my white Escalade.
Yup. And then
at
the end, she will like cut just to show you I directed this bad boy too. Like, that's a total power flex. And every time I see it, I just laugh and say, I love this commercial.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't gotta be nobody's mother. I'm not somebody's wife. This is my stuff. I run this and I make the commercial you watching right now.
Now that's a compelling promotional video.
It is. It is.
See, I might actually have to call up my local Cadillac GMC dealer and ask them,
do they have a sale?
How long? How much of a discount? Y'all got a state discount?
Yeah. But I love the commercial. I just love what the energy she brought to that joint.
Yeah.
It's an excellent commercial.
Yeah, I agree.
She ain't nobody's soccer mom. She ain't the little missus where the husband bought it for. No, this is mine. And I'm
there's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just a different
husbands. You want to bless your wife with a Cadillac.
Hey, if you got it, player, go ahead and do it.
It's good to see women in a different light.
But yeah, I like that. I like she always represents, always proud, always Black excellence. So I absolutely love her. I'm gonna love seeing Issa Rae. I mean, Meg Thee Stallion shut it down on the premiere of Saturday Night Live this season. We watched it for her, not for Chris Rock. Let's be clear. And now Issa Rae. I'm like, they are really coming for my viewership. And it's working. And it's working. So I will be watching for Issa, and I hope y'all will support our girl too.
Yep. I'm gonna try.
That's it.
We're good. Well, I'm good. I'm not gonna speak for Tamika.
Okay. All right. Well, want to let everybody know. Thank you for watching. We do this show every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Facebook or YouTube. You catch us live. If you can't catch live, that's fine. You can go to turntoyourneighbor.com to check out all the different ways you can watch this on demand, whether you check out the podcast or YouTube or businessbully.tv. A lot of different ways to watch the show. If you have not done so, make sure you like our Facebook page so you'll get a notification, or do the notifications on YouTube so you get a notification when we go live. That way you could come and hang with us and the rest of the neighbors in the live show. It's a lot of different ways to watch, and we just appreciate the fact that you watch and listen, whichever way that you choose. All right, y'all. I think this is it. Unless y'all got some other random thing.
Yo, you're not ready. You're not used to me not spazzing out. I'm good right now.
I'm used to y'all right on.
I'm throwing you all off right now.
It's only 10:04. All right, y'all. So until next time, I'm going to take it while I can. Until next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.